You can give old furniture a new lease on life with decorative techniques our next guest is going to show us. She's decorative painter Allison Gilbert. Hi, Allison.
Hi, Bonnie. Nice to be here. Thank you.
So now you're talking about going out, finding stuff that doesn't cost us much, the old furniture and bowls and things like that.
Absolutely.
And redoing them.
I'm going to show everybody how you can redo your furniture cheaply and very simply.
Okay, and you say don't throw out your furniture ever.
Absolutely not. Give it to me.
Okay, very good. You brought in all kinds of samples for us. Why don't we go through this and you can tell me what you've done with each of them. Now that chair you said you just found very inexpensive.
Yes, I did. I got it at a garage sale for $5.
Oh, my.
And everything that's here is either a hand-me-down, such as that purple table, for something from a flea market for about $10.
Wow.
Another table for about the same.
And you've repainted all of this. The designs are beautiful. They look very complicated. Look at this little jelly cabinet.
This was my grandmother's.
Oh.
And it has a pattern on the front. That's a lilac pattern that's done with a sponging technique, which has also been done on the lilac table.
That's interesting because because of the patterns that you've used. They look so completely different, but it's using the same technique.
They're very adaptable.
Right.
In fact, I'm going to be showing you how we're going to do that pattern today.
Very nice, because this is the bowl that we're going to be making, and isn't this pretty? And this is wood.
Yes, it is. It's an old wooden bowl that I got at a flea market.
How pretty that is. Okay, this is. Well, we can start. We don't have to have them from a flea market. We can go out and buy a bowl.
No, you can buy a new bowl, or if you have an old one, it can even have been used for salad and be oily. You just want to clean it up real good.
Yeah.
And the first thing you want to do is put primer on it.
All right.
And that's what I've done on this bowl.
That's the white part.
Yes, the white is the primer. The primer is a water-based latex primer that you can get in any hardware store.
All right. Now, let's say that I was starting with a piece, one of these other things that you had done, and it was old and yucky and had varnish on it. Do we want to strip that varnish off?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You either want to strip it down if it really needs to be, although that can get pretty messy and toxic, or if you want to cheat like I often do, you can sand it down pretty good.
Okay.
And then you just want to make sure you put a bunch of coats of primer on it.
Bunch of coats, just so it's a nice surface then. All right, and then you chose this pretty green. What kind of paint are we using?
Well, all the paints that we're using are water-based paint, and I have another cheap trick that I use. My hardware store has a pile of paints in the corner that are the rejects paints.
Okay.
And they're about $2 a quart, and that's what this light green paint actually is. But you can go and you can match your colors to anything you want to do, but if you're doing, you know, a cheap decorating job, you can really go very cheap. But again, water-based paint. This is flat. You can go flat, eggshell, semi-gloss. It really doesn't matter.
But when we go to the hardware store, look in the corner for the deals.
Yeah, look in the cheap corner. Right.
Okay, very good. Now we have to move on. This has dried, the green part. And then we move on to our stems and leaves. So show me how to do this.
Okay. Now, this gets a little bit more complicated than these two processes, but we're going to take something called a liner brush.
All right, this is just, it will actually have it written on there, liner brush for us.
Well, you can ask at an art store. This you have to go to the art store. They'll look at you cross-eyed in the hardware store. Okay. Ask them about this.
Okay, very good.
So what you want to do, and I do this with all my brushes, is I wet them down.
Okay.
I just take a little piece of paper towel, wipe it off, and then
use your brown, and that's an acrylic.
This is a variation on a brown. We're going to mix them together just a little bit. And you kind of want to let the brush dance. You want to be very gentle with the brush. Don't be afraid of it. Anybody can paint. Even if your art teacher said you weren't artistic. Anybody can paint. So we're going to take this very gently, and we're just going to go around like that and just finish this off.
And be free.
Yes.
It looks like it's
absolutely
free.
Have fun.
All right.
Don't worry about how it's going to look. Allow it to look ugly, in your opinion, and it'll look great. Would you like to try?
All right, I'm going to be very free. And we can see that you've already done the leaves on here using the different colors. And same kind of thing, just be free.
Very good.
Thank you very much.
Excellent.
Listen, let's move on to the purple part, because this is the lilac-y sort of stuff that I really like, the sponging. So show me how we've done this.
Okay, we're going to take a piece of a sea sponge. This you can get in a hardware paint store. It comes in a big fist-like looking thing. Again, we're just going to wet this down a little bit, And actually, since we already have the dark purple, these lilacs were made with 3 kinds of purple, the dark, the light, and then white.
Okay.
So this area has been left, and we're going to put the lighter purple on it, which is this purple right here. And you see I use my styrofoam trays. They're recycled as well.
Okay.
We're just going to get a nice amount of paint, but not too much. Again, you want to take a paper towel, make sure you don't have too much paint or you're going to end up with a puddle.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm going to let you put it on.
Thank you.
Okay.
I was hoping you were going to, so I'm going to just follow this.
You just dab it on like that.
I love that. Look at that.
And again, you just be very free.
And then I would put the light on. You can see how we've already done that in the same technique.
And I'll show you really quickly. You don't even really have to wait for it to dry. You just dab it on a little bit.
Very nice.
The nice thing about water-based paint is it dries very fast, especially when it's hot out.
Now look how cute this is. And you've painted in some flowers to go with it.
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
And I'll show you how we do that.
Neat. Okay.
Thank you. We're going to take something called a filbert brush.
Okay.
This again is Art Store. And you just take a little bit of this magenta. And again, I'm going to show you over here since we have some over there.
Okay, you're not going to put another one. All right.
No, I think we have enough on that one. What do you think?
All right.
Okay. And again, just very simply,
just make a flower. Oh, yeah.
And this brush, I think, was designed to do petals.
Yeah, that's great. A little bit of yellow in between. And then, do we finish it with a varnish?
Yes, we put water-based polyurethane. It can either be low luster or high gloss, whichever your taste prefers.
Okay. And this should be used basically decorative or putting things in here that we're not going to be eating.
Yes, you can put nuts that are in the shell, you know,
oranges,
or oranges, bananas, but no hot food, no liquid. This is really meant to be decorative.
It's so pretty, and it's decorative, and we'll find all of the deals out there and make them pretty.
Well,
thanks for coming in. This was great. And next, find out if your kitchen is safe and what to do if it isn't.